Thank you to our friends at Corinthia Hotels for making this episode possible. To book your stay at the incomparable Corinthia St. George's Bay or Corinthia Palace Hotels in Malta, visit corinthia.com today. I've never been here before. Those I told of my trip to Malta spoke of a paradise, a jewel in the Mediterranean that glimmered with opalescent water, year-round sunshine, and a picturesque storybook feel. But when I told my 95-year-old grandmother, a contemplative and steady woman of unflinching experience, of our impending trip to this former British territory, she paused, looked down, and said softly, "They are a brave people who have witnessed the very worst of what we are capable of."
And the scream and crash of bombs as Italian and German aircraft attacked the mighty atom of the Mediterranean.
During World War II, Malta endured a near continuous 2-year bombardment so ferocious that when it was all over, the entire island was awarded the George Cross for bravery. I think it's emblematic of this country that even after sustaining 2 years of unimaginable hell, their spirit never broke, not once. They picked themselves up, rebuilt, and carried on, just like they have time and again and again. And I think that's one of the things that's so attractive about Malta, a nation full of friendly, chatty, positive people on a beautiful island surrounded by warm seas. There's a lot to love about Malta. Driving around Malta, you get the sense that you're not just on a Mediterranean island. There's something else. A time capsule, perhaps. A functioning, living testament to bygone empires. The Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, Normans, French, and finally the British have all left their mark here. And that's just on the surface. I think one of the things that caught me by surprise the most in Malta is the sheer variety in landscape and architecture that you encounter. And I'm not just talking about changes in architectural design over the last 50 years. I'm talking about changes throughout history. Now, it only takes 30 minutes to drive from one end of the island to the other. But in that time, you will go from modern Malta to a Tuscan village, to a Lebanese highland, to a North African village, and then through into ancient Rome. I can't think of anywhere else on earth that has that variety of architecture, that variety of landscape that doesn't just reflect the people that make up its modern society, but all those that have set foot on these shores. And that breadth of influence is also reflected in my favorite subject, food. There's no shortage of incredible culinary experiences on the island, where our once rationed nation now enjoys the spoils of its bountiful coastlines. And it only takes a quick dip to see just how bountiful those surrounding seas really are. Chef Stefan Hogan, a Malta native and fierce proponent of the island's culinary ecosystem, explains the nebulous nature of Maltese cuisine.
Our cuisine is very much, influenced by our centuries of being colonized. So we have a very strong Italian influence, we have a very strong British influence, and we also have a very strong Arabic influence, because obviously we're part of the Arabic Empire for 800 years. So a lot of our foods, I wouldn't really call them Maltese, it's more of using the produce that we have and taking techniques and methods of cooking and herbs and spices that are from the various cultures that have influenced our cuisine. So obviously we love pasta, absolutely pasta crazy island. So a normal Sunday lunch in winter would consist of a starter of baked pasta, so pasta topped, if you can imagine, pasta with a meat sauce topped with pastry. So that's very, very light.
I want that.
And that's obviously very heavily influenced from our Sicilian neighbors.
Chef Hogan continues to extol the virtues of Maltese cooking as he prepares agnolotti, pasta filled with ricotta, crab, and local pumpkin, a staple of Maltese cooking.
You'll see them stacked on the top of the roofs and lots of farmhouses. The classic would be a pumpkin pie, a rich pumpkin stew, which is served in winter with a poached egg and fresh goat cheese just literally dropped in. Absolutely staple of the Maltese diet.
So you've got British influence, Sicilian, Italian, North African. It's like, what more could you want?
Fantastic.
And fantastic is the right word. The only thing left to do is sample the agnolotti with a glass of Maltese Chardonnay.
Welcome to Malta.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, have a sip of wine and enjoy the pasta.
Oh, that's delicious. Absolutely stunning.
I'm leaving the other plate for the cameraman, so that's why I'm not touching, not because I'm allergic.
I could eat it all day. Morning breaks, and we're on a mission for a Maltese delicacy served by a Maltese institution. A ricotta and anchovy? Pastizzi from Crystal Palace. You heard me.
One meal, please.
I don't think there are many things more representative of Maltese cuisine than these, pastizzi. They are beautiful in their simplicity. It's just phyllo pastry, layers and layers and layers of phyllo pastry, as you can see it flaking away, with simple fillings. Mushy peas, wonder where they got that idea from. Anchovy, ricotta cheese, sometimes chicken. You can find them everywhere, on every street corner, in every cafe, bars. But probably the most famous place is here, Crystal Palace in Dina. They are such a part of Maltese culture that the word itself has entered the common vernacular to mean other things. It's a euphemism for an idiot. The Maltese expression for selling like hotcakes is selling like pastizzi, and it's also a euphemism for a woman's lady bits as well, so there you are. This is obviously the mushy peas, which I'm desecrating. That is wonderful. 3, fresh out of the oven, €1. I don't think there's a better value street food in this world than these wonderful, flaky Maltese beauties. So, Malta. Not at all what I expected. But could you ever expect something like this? Malta is not normal. Malta is weird. Hedgehog crossings, the old abandoned Popeye film set. But Malta is also intensely beautiful. Layer after layer of historical and cultural strata. I was wrong. I don't think Malta is a time capsule. I think it's a time machine, allowing a visitor to pass from ancient Rome to 1950s Britain to 21st century Europe and everything in between, with as much effort as crossing the street. So it's no wonder that the Maltese capital of Valletta was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Time machines should be protected.